35% of subscribers will open an email just because of the subject line, regardless of who it's from, where it's from, or what happened with it. And this is why you do get such a prevalence of genuine unsolicited mail, because there's someone out there that will buy something from anyone. It's just a question about sending enough messages. But 35% is a hell of an amount of people that are going to vet whether or not to open your message based on the subject line alone. And we actually did some analysis over the Christmas and New Year period, a particularly busy period for email traffic. And analysing sort of 25, 30,000 subject lines, we found that more in the subject line is actually better. You've only got 35 characters or less with most email clients to get your message across. And most people try and cram as much as possible into those 35 characters. But what we've actually found is that if you're a little bit more descriptive in a subject line, if you're a little bit longer, mention the brand name, mention the offer, and have some element of personalization. That could be their name, it could be their account number, it could be the date they last visited your site. But something that ties the person, the product, and the offer all together, then it means that we've had increases of 25% or more in terms of conversion rates, just by letting people know before they even open the message what's in store if they actually invest the time and effort to do that. Time and date to send is critical. No matter what message you're trying to get across, there's 150 people that are trying to do exactly the same thing to the same people, only better. So knowing when people are actually sitting at home, looking at their emails, checking their inbox for your message is all important. Because if you don't know where someone's actually going to be sitting there at their PC at home, you're going to be 50th, 60th down on the list. And the average household is receiving 35 emails a day. The average business address for an affiliate receives more than 200. So if you're marketing to affiliates as an affiliate manager, they've got 200 other emails to go through. And if you don't know the day and time to actually send them a message, then they're flat out not going to promote your site, they're not going to promote your products. Same for an operator. They're a notoriously flirty bunch when it comes to dealing with your average gaming customer. They're not going to sign up to one site. Yeah, we'd love it. We'd all love it if they signed up to your brand and nothing else, and we could potentially market them like there's no tomorrow. But the fact of the matter is they play other sites, they play other games, they play even in different sort of channels. But you need to stand out in a very crowded inbox, and implementing just little things like send your email at the right time of day makes a massive difference to the relationship you've got with a customer. So even if they don't buy something there and then, if they expect 10 o'clock at night when they're actually logging on to play a few games with the guys in the US from Europe, then if they're expecting your message there in the inbox, they'll at least have a look. You've got a relationship, you're building it up, and if they recognize the from name and the from email address, you'll get a second bite of the cherry. Test your creative as well. This is probably going to be a little bit difficult, but again, these are some of the tools that we provide, but they are available through a lot of other sort of companies and providers and consultancies as well. But test your messages before you send it out, and just have a look and think, is this something that I would buy from? Because that's your kind of litmus test, is that if it's something that you are happy receiving in your inbox, then the likelihood is your customers are going to react favorably to it as well. And there's a lot of people who literally email as an aside. It's something as a business objective. We've been told, email's great, go away and do it. And someone's got an hour to knock something together and throw it out. But again, if you put a little bit of time and effort into designing and testing an email, your content's actually not going to vary month in, month out by a huge degree. There's different brands, different offers, different rates. But if you get the golden rules, the format down, then it means that when it does come to that crunch time, you've got 2 hours to send out a campaign. You know it's actually going to reach an inbox. You know someone's most likely to open it. You know the areas of an email they're most likely to click on. And again, it might sound intensive in the short term, but spending half an hour just making sure that your email looks readable and making sure that the links are actually clickable and making sure that the elements that are going to get them excited are clearly visible and in their face means that you don't need to do it on an ongoing basis because you know those golden rules. You know where it's going to be applicable. And can't stress the importance of testing the content of your email before you send it out. Just because gaming is a very, very tricky sector at the moment when it comes to email delivery. And they're really, really cracking down at the likes of Gmail and Hotmail. If any of you use Windows Live, when you download the latest version of Windows Live, what you'll actually see is that Hotmail's adding new content filters, not just to their email, but to the chat and to the advertising, to everything that comes out of it. Just because the volume of messages globally is on the rise exponentially. and not all of it is good messaging, unfortunately. But if you take a little bit of time and effort, look at the rules, look at what words are going to cause problems for you, then you can brief people in the business to steer clear, and as a result, you're going to be part of the 15% of messages globally that actually get delivered, and not part of the 85% of messages that are sent that just don't go anywhere. So at the moment, the vast majority of email is sent but not delivered just because people don't test, don't look, and it's a business objective. You press send, but you don't look at what happens after you do that. Relevant content. It's like I say, if you want to keep a message in the inbox and you want to keep a customer, whether it's someone on an acquisition database and you're looking at cross-promotional opportunities, or whether you're an operator looking to try and engage a customer week in, week out, think about having relevant content. It's not just about sending out messages for the hell of it. It's about sending the right message to the right people. So the database of 100,000, if you've got something that's only applicable to 1,000 people, just send it to those 1,000. Leave the rest of them alone until you've got something to say to engage with them, because then you've got, again, a long-term marketable resource and bankable revenue. Don't send things to people you know they're not going to be interested in just to see how it goes, because if they unsubscribe, you've lost future revenue. So at the moment, an email address is being valued at just under 10 UK pounds in terms of that is the value of an email address. So if you're looking at a database of 10,000, you're throwing away hundreds of thousands of pounds, or if you're a bigger affiliate, millions of pounds worth of revenue is sitting there. It's just a question of, do you want to take a punt and see what's going to happen now, or in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, do you still want to have a channel of revenue that you can rely upon week in, week out? Ensure that you're sending relevant and timely messages. This is like if someone signs up to your site and gets a new account, don't send a welcome message 3 days later. It's if someone isn't expecting a message, then they're going to react badly to it. When someone signs up for your affiliate service, or when someone signs up for their free account, have just a little bit of information that says how frequently you're going to communicate with people. I know you get freaked out when you say, I'm going to send them a daily email, they're just not going to sign up. But think about it from the other perspective. If you sign up to something and they don't tell you, they're going to send you a daily email, and you're expecting something every other month, or something every month, the first thing you're going to do, even if it is relevant content, is that if you log on after a week, because you're not a regular browser, and see 5 emails from an online casino when you were expecting 1, the first thing you're going to do is just delete, 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 jump, jump, jump. And it might be the best offer. It might be a tailor-made program that you've invested 3 months worth of research in and paid £150 a head for the data, but because you didn't get the frequency right, they didn't even look at it. Remind your recipients why they're receiving the email. Just on the top of your email, let them know the site that they signed up to. A lot of people here are in control of multiple brands, but from a parent company. So you might have something where it's not instantly recognizable, but it is relevant. It's within the same kind of family of information. Just let them know on the top of the email, or even at the bottom of the disclaimer, where you actually got their data from and why you're sending them that message. Just because little things like that, just, oh yeah, signed up there. So you've even got clients that go to the lengths of putting down the IP address and date and time that they signed up to an affiliate network, just because if you are sending a lot of cross-promotional messages and go from bingo to casino to poker and so on and so forth over the course of 2 or 3 months, then as long as you remember to remind people why they've got that message, you'll have more avenues for cross-promotion, you will build a better relationship, and then if you get that one message wrong, it's less important because they still feel as though you care a little bit more about them and their preferences. Not sure how many people are familiar with safe senders lists, but all it is, it's a feature of Hotmail, AOL, and Gmail, where you basically say, I recognize this sender, I'm happy to receive messages from them. Now, the reason that this is really, really important is that if one person adds your message as a safe sender, it downloads the images and links on their message. It also sends an automated message to that ISP, to that Gmail, to say, yeah, well, this guy is all right because people are saying he is a safe sender. So even if you've got a list of 10, 20, 100,000 people, and you've got 1 or 2% that actually add you to that safe senders list, it's not just important for that particular person, it's important for your brand and for your kind of reputation with the major kind of receivers of email, the Hotmails and AOLs of this world, just so that they can identify you and know you're not a blanket spammer.